What we're doing is we're bringing llamas to our veterans. We work with the children that somebody in their military family decided that they wanted to end their pain and suffering with suicide.
In the heart of America, a family stands tall.
My name is Joy, and you're around Steve, and they know me as Mama Joy. We call on every American to join us. The divisions we see today are the lingering echoes of a wound that has never fully healed. And tonight, we have veterans from the Vietnam War.
Yes, my name is Lonnie DuShane, and this is my lovely wife, Elaine DuShane. We actually are part of MASH. It stands for Military and Service Heroes. We happened to come across a man that was walking a llama into a ice cream fudge shop. And my wife says, that guy just took a llama in the store. And we watched that documentary and see all the people that these llamas are helping. It's called Llama Love Therapy.
Oh, dear.
What we're doing is we're bringing llamas to our veterans. We work with the children that somebody in their military family decided that they wanted to end their pain and suffering with suicide. We're working with Mission 22, the people that are trying to prevent our guys that have suffered so much and think their only answer is suicide. We're trying to help in that side of it. And then we're also working on the other side, taking our llamas. I actually wrote a book, and on the subtitle I wrote, Act with Love and You'll Become Stronger. We're flowing with the winds and currents of God to try to bring love to our community, to our nation, and to the world. The only way to get this thing right is to bring love in like Jesus showed us their purpose in life. Sometimes people spend a lifetime searching for that. I was very fortunate to find mine fairly early in life. Everybody's got to find their own little niche, but this is mine. I want to love as many as I can, the best I can, until I take my last breath. And that's what Elaine and I spend our whole day doing, is projecting love out there. So we know that this pledge that you guys have put together for this nation, and I would like to see it carried out worldwide, and hopefully we can put an end to all of this rhetoric of anger and violence. And the only way we're going to do that is by bringing love into this picture and respect and honoring those people that have a voice to say. Little baby llamas here wants to do a little dance for you.
Miss Elaine, how are you fitting with the wings and the wind of love with these llamas?
When I first met Greg Hall in Mayberry with his llama, it was instant. We got to do this. It's so much fun to see people enjoy these animals. Just so many possibilities, so many places we can go to uplift people.
I'm excited over your joy.
Yeah.
And is that the secret to this union that we have before us?
Yes, it is.
You know, age is no problem. I just can't imagine sitting around watching TV all day. He and I we're goers, we're doers.
We're having our event center built. It's 4,400 square feet. What we're trying to do is get different organizations or individuals or families or somebody that wants to honor a fallen hero. It's $7,500, and what that gives them is it gets us to purchase the llama. We put a plaque on the front of it that says the name of the llama, and it says adopted by. We're going to send them back videos and pictures and say, this is what your llama is doing to help the community. Put all these smiles on these children's faces. You may have helped a child with autism open up a little bit more, or you may have just prevented somebody from committing suicide because now he's got a purpose.
Brother Shan, he is a veteran from the Marine Corps, and he's a community advocate with the National Block Club University here in Chicago. He's a veteran for the Vietnam War. What was the ranking that you had?
A sergeant. I've always been a community activist ever since 1970, when I helped first start the first youth organization in Austin, the Austin Youth Coalition. I went into the Marines in 72. And since then, I've traveled all over. And right now, I'm a VSO, Veteran Service Officer. I help veterans get their benefits, which is sorely needed. I have a anti-gun violence prayer vigil every year on April 15th at Columbus Park. And this year was my 16th annual. It was the highest gun violence rate in the city. Now it's one of the lowest. I've worked with Congressman Davis for over 25 years, this fatherhood initiative. And I have a book. It's titled Single Parenting, A Black Male's Experience, Raising a Child from Birth. I raised my daughter straight from the hospital at birth by myself.
Wow.
And I'm trying to get a lot of the non-custodial fathers actively involved in the lives of their children. That's the key to all this violence, is the lack of a father's involvement.
Single parenting. Oh my. A black man's experience. Raising a child from birth.
It's on Amazon Kindle.
Thank you for your service, and I thank you for sacrificing your life even when you return home in order to raise your daughter.
Yes, first and foremost, thank you for your service, James, and for all the other veterans. You're walking the walk with these prayer vigils, doing it year after year. 16 years, Lonnie. You're using the therapy of lamas to heal those who have issues. When they came back into civilian life, felt that they had been separated from community. This peace pledge, put your name, if you could, on that paper. Let people know that I stand for non-violence. Mama Joy, I think you're doing an amazing job in just bringing this little community. It's at www.globalone.org.
May I ask James, what message would you like to leave for them?
I've worked with youth nearly 50 years. And one thing, the chasm that exists between the youth of our nation and our generations is the stereotypical views that people have of these young folks that are out here. And you would be surprised if you just take the time to engage with them and to really find out what's on their minds, to let them know that they count. You would be surprised of how you could open an entire realm of understanding and a new world to them that they never knew existed, because a lot of them are seriously neglected.
We all are one.
Exactly.
And right now we need to discover what part do we play in the saving. I see Margaret. Tell us something about yourself.
And so I lived most of my life unsaved. And when I did hear the gospel, I knew my life had been changed forever. Actually, I did go to a grade school where we did have Bible reading every day and prayer. And even in our music class, if you don't take a stand, then when you go to the voting booth, then you haven't really checked in to see who is pro-life and who is pro-abortion. And we still have that feminist movement that has put the women into an area where they're no longer mothers and homemakers. They are in the corporate scene, and the children are latchkey children because no one's there to raise them except the preschool and after school programs. We have to take a stand, and that means you push back. The one thing that holds the Marxist movement from taking over any country is that as long as the family is intact, they cannot do it. And this is the husband loving his wife like Christ loved the church. It's not to say she's his slave or his servant, because he is willing to give his life for her. Children are tearing up their moms and dads. They haven't had that closeness because mom's been at work and dad's been at work. We have allowed all the cell phones to be brought into the child's life at the age of 6 or 7, even earlier. Give a child a cell phone and they will have pornography within the next couple of months into their life. So basically, we have gotten so technologically oriented, we haven't guarded our own homes and our own lives. So,
yeah, Mama Joy, since this is the 23rd anniversary of September 11th, if you think back to that time, I remember here in Louisville, Kentucky, when I walked the streets, even downtown Louisville, people said hello and waved at each other. We actually looked at each other in the eye, and that humanity was pretty amazing. So that unity, it took something tragic like that.
9/11, that brought Americans all together, and I also used to work for Operation Blessing doing disasters all over the United States. Had a little 4-year-old that was standing there when his dad put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. He was the only 4-year-old in the class that didn't want his dad's picture on his badge. So this thing with military and veterans, the pain and the suffering they do to go protect us and what they deal with and what they come home with is so much pain and suffering on themselves, but there's also so much pain and suffering with all of their families. It seems like we all come together during suffering moments. I just wish it could be the other way, that we all come together in peace and stay together in peace. And that's why this movement, I think, is so important.
Lonnie,
together.
It is beginning. Nothing starts with fruit. Right. It starts with a seed. And that's what we have here together, with the expectations of growing so that we can connect heart to heart, so that we'll have a place that we can express ourselves without being judged, knowing that each one of us is a part of that one. There's something in us that we have to call upon, that regardless of what the storm is about, that we can see ourselves coming through. I give God thanks for this group here today, because this is a seed for a new beginning. Division has been here a long time. And the fact that we can see it and desire to make a challenge, not hitting it, but bringing it back to the original.
It's said that where the attention goes, the energy flows. I happen to work with quite a number of people that have made a determination that no matter what happens during the course of the day, they choose not to call it a problem. They call it an opportunity. Where is the opportunity? When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
My brother was a medic in Vietnam in the front lines, and thank the dear Lord he came home, but he had post-traumatic stress syndrome. God led him to a church, and now he's done the Salvation Army thing every year since then, and giving blood, and now he's feeding the homeless. But at one time he was with the post-traumatic stress syndrome in a really bad way from Vietnam. We know we can help these, but it takes the word of God.
Your brother is a victor. Mm-hmm. He's a champion. He overcame. I like for us to just read over the preamble of the United States, because more than anything, most of us have forgotten the very foundation by which our country was built in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, to ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Let us this night do ordain, in the name of Jesus, by whatever higher power you call, establish this new Constitution for the United States of America. Thank you for being a part of the family reunion, American family reunion. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Wonderful. God bless you. God bless you all.
Thanks to everyone.
Bonds of love and unity, holding us all in the heart of